I'm James Abdelmalek with Keller Williams Palos Verdes and Keller Williams Luxury International. And today, as promised, I have a special guest who's going to be talking to you today about how to obtain a loan to purchase real estate, whether that real estate was residential or income property. Today's special guest helped me and helped my clients become homeowners. He helped 90% of my clients become homeowners. The other 10% were all cash buyers, so they didn't need any loans. My special guest star today is Rick Plata from Mortgage Express.
Thank you, James.
Rick Plata is a senior loan officer in Mortgage Express. He assisted buyers become homeowners for more than 20 years. He helped finance more than $800 million in mortgage loans to buyers and investors. He helped thousands of buyers become homeowners. His expertise and his advice is well appreciated among hundreds of buyers and realtors. It's really a pleasure to have you, Rick, and that is a very impressive resume that you have. I have a lot of questions for Rick today that are on the minds of many people who want to become homeowners, and Rick will educate us about that. But people were asking me, why don't I just answer the questions myself? I do know the answer, but you have to know that when it comes to loans, you have to get your advice from a professional loan advisor. That's why we have Rick today. He's going to educate us about how to obtain a loan. I organized my questions in a simple way so that you can be able to follow up and understand what we're talking about the loan process. The first question I have for you, Rick, is I know when someone who is out there who is probably renting a house and thinking, am I qualified to purchase a home? I know when someone comes to you and asks you that question, you look at four things. You look at income, you look at debt, you look at assets like cash in the bank, and credit score. So the first question I have for you, Rick, is the following. For income, we all know that you have to be in your career for the last 2 years, whether you are a W-2 employee or a 1099. Has that changed, or are there any exceptions to that rule?
So that's a very good question, James. So the 2 years, yes, it is required for employment. Now, it does not need to be in the same line of work. So a lot of people have a misconception of that. But as long as they have a 2-year work history, that's what we're looking for. There is another exception though. If, let's say for instance, somebody is going to college and they're mastering in accounting and they just graduated and found a full-time job, as long as we have 2 paycheck stubs for that full-time job, we can actually use their school as a 2-year history of employment.
What is the minimum credit score that you can obtain a loan with?
So the minimum FICO score for a client to purchase a property depends on what type of program that we're looking at. For instance, FHA, you can purchase a home with as little as a 500 FICO score. You do need to come in with a little bit more money down. Now, FHA does require you to put 3.5% down. When you're looking at a FICO score below 580, you do need to come in with 10% down, but we can do somebody with as low as a 500 FICO score. When you're looking at different types of programs, they all have their FICO score requirements. So once again, it all depends on what type of program we're looking at putting the client into, but like I stated, worst case, we can do as low as a 500 FICO score.
Assets or cash. A certain amount of cash that I should have in the bank to cover the down payment and closing costs. And what is that minimum amount?
When we're looking at down payments, it all depends on what type of program we're looking at putting the clients into. When you're looking at, let's say for instance, a jumbo loan, you know, a lot of investors require at least 20% down. When you're looking at an FHA or conventional first-time home buyer, we can do as little as no money down. There are down payment and closing cost assistant programs out there where actually I've had clients come in with zero money down. So it all depends on, when you're looking at assets, what type of program we're trying to put the client into.
That wraps up episode 1 of how to obtain a loan to purchase real estate. Stay tuned for episode 2. We have a lot of exciting questions coming up for you. See you next video. James Abdelmalek signing out. God bless.